This will be a weird video. Hi there, my name is Leslie and welcome to my channel. So today I wanted to do some drawings. Since Valentine's Day is in a couple of days,
Yes, Leslie, that day is today. Good job.
I thought it might be fun to draw some of my fictional crushes and maybe talk about what I think that says about my taste in people. Anyway, I'm gonna be drawing all of these on my iPad on Procreate, and a big thing that I wanted to do was I wanted to challenge myself with this. So I'm gonna be drawing 3 men and 1 woman. And here is why. I hate drawing men. I don't know why. I can't explain it. I just do. And so I wanted to force myself in this video to draw men, 3, and then I'll draw 1 female crush. Just throw 1 in there, because I like drawing women, and I like women too. Anyway, I'm not gonna drag out this intro. Let's get into the drawings.
Alright, let's start out with the first drawing that I did for this video, and kind of the inspiration behind this video. I am going to be drawing Matthew Patel from Scott Pilgrim. So I did this drawing around the time that I watched Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, the anime that's on Netflix. First of all, it is very good. I really enjoyed it. I understand why there are mixed feelings about the show. It's been a very long time since I have read the comics, but the movie is one of my favorite movies of all time. So just thinking about the movie, I love the anime. But I do plan on going back and reading the comics again, and that might change the way I think about it, but how I am feeling right now, I love the anime. And I especially love Matthew Patel in it. Now, Matthew Patel was already one of my favorite evil exes from, the Scott Pilgrim universe. I thought he was fun, just over the top, and I love that. His musical number will forever be stuck in my head. I know, all of the dance moves to it. Matthew Patel was always one of my favorites. But I definitely thought he didn't get enough screen time. Now, in the TV show, without, spoiling too much, he does have a bigger role in it. And I love that. I loved getting to know Matthew Patel a lot more. They made him into a theater kid, and he does this one-man rendition of Agony from Into the Woods, and it was hilarious. That was one of my favorite parts. And I thought he was really entertaining. I really enjoyed Matthew Patel in this. First of all, please ignore how many times I changed his hair. It was so frustrating, and for whatever reason, I couldn't get it to look right. Anyway, not only did I love Matthew Patel in the anime, I loved all of the evil exes in it. One of the things that I really enjoyed about the show was how they fleshed out the evil exes. And again, comparing this to the movie, you don't really understand why the evil exes are the way that they are. You understand that Ramona kind of screwed them over, but you don't really get to see the emotion behind it, or really the full story. For example, Roxy, the main episode that tells the story of Roxy and Ramona's relationship, I cried. It was so emotional, and I felt so bad for Roxy, and it really made me understand the way that she is and how she turned out the way that she did. And I absolutely love that. And so now, finishing up this drawing, I don't love the way that it turned out. I might try and redo it, but I still think it's cool. I think the background is kind of fun. But yeah, that's my Matthew Patel. Now we're going to draw a character that I wouldn't say is my first ever anime crush, but I will say the first anime guy that I saw in a show where I continued watching the show because of him. And I'm not gonna beat around the bush. It's Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z. When I was in 7th grade, I spent a summer watching Dragon Ball Z, and it was only because of Vegeta. And a lot of people judge me for this, but I was in love with Vegeta. I really was. And I really wanted to draw him because I avoid drawing muscles. Kind of like how I said in the intro, I mainly only draw girls. And so this was a challenge for me. I was like, okay, I gotta draw a muscular dude. And I mean, Vegeta is ripped, so I decided to do it, and it did not turn out great. I really tried, but I also didn't want to spend too much time on it. Yeah, especially watching back this footage. It does not look great, but that's okay. I really think Vegeta paved the way for what I find attractive in a man, and that is a guy who is mean to me. Look, I know it sounds terrible, but I know there are some girlies out there who will agree with me. We love a man who is mean and rude on the outside, but he's so sweet to you and he cares about you, but he also like kind of pokes fun at you, but you know it's in like a loving way, even though it's probably gonna make me cry. Is this healthy? I say that like I'm not dating a scary looking man who teases me 24/7 but is actually a sweetheart once you get to know him. That's basically my boyfriend. And yeah, that sums up my taste in men. So I talked about my taste in men. Now let's quickly talk about my taste in women. And so it does vary for women. So if you didn't know, I am pansexual, and there are a couple of fictional girls that I do have a little crush on. Um, this one, not so much anymore. I definitely did like back in high school when I was kind of into this series. So this is Ruka from Renta Girlfriend. And the main reason I watched this show again and read the manga was because of Ruka. And if you don't know anything about Renta Girlfriend, it is about this loser who starts using these rental girlfriends, and he falls in love with his rental, but then there's this sweet girl named Ruka who actually likes him for who he is, and I don't know why. And you know what? He treats her like trash, and it's kind of like he is lucky to have a sweetheart like her give him the time of day, because she's the only girl that will, but he treats her like absolute garbage. And so I was watching the show because I loved her and I felt so bad for her, and I was like, girl, I would treat you right. So I think Ruka is a good example of one of the types of girls I like. I really like the cutesy, sweet girls, but I do also like the like kind of edgy goth girls. But Ruka is just an absolute sweetheart, even though I'm not really into Rent a Girlfriend anymore. I still think she's very sweet. The only character I really like in Rent a Girlfriend now is the character Mommy, because her whole motivation in the show is just ruining the main character's life, and I'm all for it. He sucks. Alright, now the last drawing I'm going to do is probably my favorite anime guy of all time, and I do still say this is my favorite anime of all time, even though it's been a long time since I've watched it. I need to rewatch it. It is Spike Spiegel from Cowboy Bebop, and I know it is a basic choice, but I love Spike. He's so cool, and also the show is just awesome. It's got an incredible opening, it's got an incredible story, I love all the music references that are in the show, and I am going to talk about Spike in just a second, but can we talk about Faye Valentine and Jet Black for just a second? They are also very attractive characters. Faye Valentine, she could step on me, and Jet Black is also very, very cool. I feel like Spike is the, like, pure image of, like, the calm, cool guy who's good at combat, who, like, he has a vibe to him that I love. Also, his voice is incredible. I absolutely love his voice actor. He also has his moments of coming off as, like, kind of an asshole, which I think goes back to that semi-problematic thing that I find attractive in men. Also, another big part of his character that I find interesting, that I find attractive, is him being a heavy smoker in the show. And now, if you know me at all in real life, you know that I do not smoke, I do not drink. It's just not for me, and I don't really like being around smoke and all of that kind of stuff, but for whatever reason, when it's in an anime, I find it really attractive. And, like, I don't find it attractive at all in the real world. I guess it's the smell, or maybe the idea of how harmful it is, but when it's not real, I find it incredibly attractive. And this is just a disclaimer, I do not judge people for smoking. I don't care what people do. I just don't do it. It's a preference, and I don't like being around the smell. I don't care what other people do. But you know what? Spike Spiegel can continue smoking because I can't smell it, and you know what? He looks good doing it. I mean, look at this. Yep.
And that is all of the drawings of my fictional crushes. Vegeta was a struggle. Spike was definitely my favorite drawing out of all of them. And he's my favorite out of all of them, but, you know. I have a lot of other fictional crushes that I could draw and do fan art of. I've got some weird ones that I could do fan art of, and that might be a funny video, doing just my weird fictional crushes. If you want to see that video in the future, let me know if you liked this format. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please like and maybe subscribe. That would be nice. Maybe. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Hopefully. Bye.